Here are the 7 legal documents that you need to have them signed before you share that work or you release that work to claim it as yours. Now, of course, tuko kwa hii series tunaongelelea mambo za basic laws and maybe basic laws and ethics when it comes to filmmaking. Na hii ni series part 2. So tutaongelelea about those 7 documents zenye unahitaji zikuwe signed ndio hiyo kazi ikuwe well protected, isemekane ni yako ama it belongs to that company or that organization. So ukiwa unafanya job, so make sure these are the documents zenye utakuwa una make sure umepeana zimekuwa signed na watu wenye una work nao. Number 1 document ni location permit. Of course, last time kwa the previous video tulikuwa tumeongelelea about something to do with the location permits is as a legal document yenye unahitaji kukuwa nayo when you're doing your productions. So but I'm here now talking about now documents zenye zina kuprotect wewe na kazi yako, so that hiyo kazi mtu asikuje kuclaim baadaye usumbuke, maybe ukose kukuwa na peace. Number 1 is location permit. Location permit, these are contracts or agreements that you sign with the owners of that location. Ndio muweze kutumia hiyo space kusign. And again, let me ask, producers uko nyuma bana, mlisign document ya kureleasiwa kupewa hapa ama tunafanya tu mambo yetu? Siku yenye itakuja kutrend tuulizwe, kwa nini mkulipa huko? Anyway, that is number 1. Number 2, you need this document called the talent release or crew agreement. Talent release basically inakuwaga ya those people who will be appearing in front of your camera. Si lazima ikuwe ni ati ni movie una shoot. Inaweza kuwa ni documentary, inaweza kuwa ni commercial, ama inaweza kuwa hata ni maybe an event, but you want to monetize or maybe make sure that that video remain as your personal brand, as your own, in your ownership. So, of course, talent release ni kitu important sana. Whether you're doing that documentary or commercial or even a film, make sure people have signed that release form. And also the crew members wenye wamepeana services zao, make sure they also sign. Because wakisign, ina legally allow, either umewapatia rights for them to also have the use of the material of the product, or umewalipa na hawana rights to use that particular product in any case. And that's why tunajipataga kama sisi sometimes, because we don't know how we sign these laws zenye tunaendaga kufanya documentaries za client, so tunajipata maybe atujui, maybe client anaweza kwambia like don't use that video to do anything. So unapata wewe ulienda hivi umetumia video juu ilitoka fiti, umeshoot ya client video, ukaenda ukajimarket nayo, client anakukuta huko hivyo anakuambia mimi nilikwambia usipost video zenye tumefanya nayo kazi. And that's why sometimes I think there are videos or commercials that we don't see people sharing credits. Even music videos, hatuonagi watu wakishare credits. Zinakuwaga tu ziko tu hapo. Like, mtu tu ameweka video and then you don't know who is the people who are behind making that particular production. So that is another thing. So make sure your crew and your talent sign that document. So make sure that document is there. Na pia usisign tu hivi tena fuwe, like unajua pia watu nao wanakuwa watu wamesign kitu tu umeandika without even going through. And if you're a talent and you're working on that production, make sure you also read through that document. Ndio usikue tena unaweza kuwa unapeana image rights zako forever. Nasikiaga kuna jina inatumika inaitwa perpetuity. Of course, I'm a producer, so nishaitumia hiyo jina mahali because I didn't know how the repercussion behind the same. But kuna hiyo jina ya perpetuity. I don't think there's something called perpetuity we should allow in our spaces za kufanya content. I think we should allow ourselves to be using give ourselves some bit of timeline. And yeah, it's okay. I know this will attract a lot of debates, but looking at it from an angle of a creator and somebody who understands that this product inaweza itumika later on in life. Like, for example, this product will live forever, will outlive me. So how long am I supposed to be owning the rights to use this particular whatever content or maybe this particular product? So, and that's why unapataga kama copyright you're allowed to have, you are signing, I think ni 50 years. Ukisign copyright law, ile una copyright your content, you are copyrighting your content, I think for 50 years, or inakuwaga 50 years after umekufa, itakaa for 50 years kama ni yako, ndio iachiliwe mtu mwingine, maybe anaweza take over, or your family or anybody else. But yeah, there is a period, kuna kuwaga na period haikwagi into perpetuity. So when you're also signing these contracts, make sure you read through the timelines na ile duration yenye pia wanakuallow kufanya this kind of productions. So that is number 2, ni hizo talent or crew release. Make sure hizo vitu zimekuwa signed. Na ukisign uweka, wacha kusign alafu ujui hata contract za production gani zilienda wapi na hizi zingine zilienda wapi. So of course, even for myself, nimekuwa na that weakness, but this is something I'm also learning, because in as much as I'm here educating all of us, I'm also learning in the process. So mtu producer huko bana, uta make sure contract zetu zinakuwa vizuri, because yeah, we might be needing it some time to just prove, because again, there is no way you will sign a distribution agreement without the contracts of the actors. Yeah, so hakuna venye tu utasign any distribution deal na haujapeana contracts za hao actors, because the distributor has to see. So hiyo ni number 2, the document that you are going to sign. Then number 3, there's this document inaitwa ya music agreement, music copyright agreement or something of the sort. So hii music copyright, guys, tunapenda sana kuweka mziki kwa video. Na every time, I think TikTok, there's a time they introduced the section whereby there was some certain music ulikuwa unatumia TikTok, alafu ukizieka kwa video zako unakuwa banned. So because of copyright issues, and even on YouTube right now, utapata mtu umeweka video, and then time unaenda kupost, ukifika pale mwisho kwa kusema ati publish, inakwambia we have found some copyrighted content. So make sure the music or content that you're going to use, either it inaweza kuwa music ama inaweza kuwa image, because also there's some images that are very, very protected, and I've come across this. There's a time we were doing movie reviews, and when we were doing movie reviews, tukachukua trailers awase tunazieka ndani ya nini. Of course kuna kuwaga na kitu inaitwa fair use ya hiyo whatever thing that you're putting in your videos. Kama saizi ninaweza videos za pictures za YouTube and stuff like that, but kuna kitu inaitwa fair use. So tulikuwa tunacheza trailer yote ya hiyo movie, and that movie we found out that kumbe hiyo trailer iko protected. Manze tulipigwa tu na copyright claim. Hatukuwa copyright strike, but ilikuwa tu copyright claim. Tukaambiwa hii video haitacheza sijui in certain countries, or ilikuwa tu inacheza Kenya peke yake. So if you want somebody to watch it from other parts of the world, they cannot watch it because they have protected the rights of the images in that trailer. So also images, yeah. So hata mimi saizi na need kujiprotect bana. Producer, ni protect tafadhali. Juu unajua watu wengine wanachukua images zangu wanaweza enda waziweke kwa AI, alafu zianze kuongea vitu zenye si hizi zenye ninasema saa hizi, and then they tend to use them against me, or maybe to attack me or something of the sort. But anyway, cyberbully, tutapatana pale nje, tutakugonga mangumi utakula. So that is number 3. The other document that you also need to sign ni non-disclosure agreement. Very important. And I believe this is something also, I think architect mnasainigi non-disclosure, si ndio? Watu wa architect wa mjengoni nini mnasainigi non-disclosure, because why is it that watu wanafungaga place inafungagwa na mabati, unapata hiyo place imefungwa mabati, fence. So when they're doing construction, of course kuna hizo safety measures, but most of the time normally I see it like we're just trying to protect this thing that you're building until it is ready to show the world. That's when you show the world. But whatever the world is being shown, wanaonyeshagwa tu venye hiyo building itakaa once it's done. However, they don't show you the process. So the same way tunakwambia hii movie itakuwa kali, tunataka kushoot movie nyingine hapo ya nini, watu sijui wakienda wapi kwa moon wakirudi. So wewe tu ngoja hiyo movie ya watu wakienda kwa moon. But sasa sisi wenye tuna shoot so sasa hii nikikwambia niko kwa moon na shoot, wewe kubali. Lakini sasa hiyo process ya kushoot nini sijui unataka kuona sijui uko. So that's why they really protect, and then they come and release videos zinaitwa behind the scenes. So Non-disclosure agreement inapeanagwa kwa the actors and the crew members, because they have now to protect that work, not displaying it to people until it materializes. So it really, really helps. It's a very good document, and you as a producer, you are there. Before you engage your crew members and actors, make sure this is the first documents they sign before even you share that script. So when you're planning to share the script, make sure the non-disclosure document is first of all shared. Number 5 ni co-production agreements. Co-production agreements ni nini? When you're coming in, like for example, this is a production that you're doing with maybe 3 or 2 companies. Make sure you also write down what company is doing what like for example, kama saizi naweza sema this is company A and company B, they want to produce this movie, so we need to know like what is their treaty, like what are they signing, what are they agreeing in terms of when it comes to that particular production that they are doing. So kuna mwingine maybe atasema mimi naleta equipment, mwingine anasema mimi naleta crew, production hiyo mwingine anasema mimi naleta food ya lunch, watu watakuwa kula kwa set nini. Production nyingine anasema mimi nitakuwa na shughuli ya post production. So you find like there are maybe 5 production companies working on one project, so you make sure you sign ndio ikuwe clear organization hiyo yenyu ni nini unahitaji as an organization, like what is required of you to do that particular production. So production treaties and agreements should be signed. And also the other thing is the in number 6 is the distribution agreements. Now when it comes to your work being distributed by anyone, you might want, for example, kama saizi tuko na site inaitwa I work in a place na hii site wako na site mzuri, mnafaa muone hiyo site inaitwa ustadifilms.ke. Wow, so this organization or company iko na hiyo site, na hiyo ni site yenye ina host movies na inafanya streaming of African content or African stories or African films. So you make sure when you give out your content to maybe such kind of people, distributors, you have a distribution agreement. You just don't say like, okay fine, nichukulieni tu mniwekee huko watu waone. No, make sure you have a document you're signing so that it's yani inaweka tu vitu clear, ndio kusikuwe na misunderstanding baadaye. Okay, so that is a very important document that you need to you have signed. And I think for number 7, a copyright certificate. A copyright certificate ni nini? Of course, copyright certificate ni document ya kuonyesha like this is your work. This is your work. You're the person who is the original creator of that work. Na ni very important document because it shows you are the owner. You are the person who is owning that work. So make sure you have that document with you, ndio usifike mahali mtu anakuja na claim hii kazi eti hii kazi ni yangu. People normally take some of people's work alafu wanaenda wanazipost ama anazirepost mahali pengine. Producer, hii kazi tumeipangia copyright, si ndio? Very nice. So thank you so much, guys. You know, those are the 7 key documents that you need to have in place so that you have your work protected without having problems za maybe utakam across problems later on in life, especially when a video starts trending, or maybe when that video imekuwa watu wameanza accept ama appreciate, because sometimes when you record these videos we don't know the impact it's going to have. Labda hii video na record sahi itapata 10 views, but maybe later on come in maybe give or take maybe in the next 5, 10, 20 years there is a generation that will come to watch this video and they'll appreciate, and when they appreciate it, you see now hiyo ndo time itaanza kutrend, na ikianza kutrend being that it is online na tumeimonetize itakuwa ina undo. So mtu undo from it inafaa kuwa like mnakam ku revisit zile makaratasi ambazo mlikuwa mmesign. So you have to make sure that you are right with the law. See ndio? Guys, thank you so much for your time and listening, and thank you so much. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach me on the number or on the email, and then we can have a conversation as we continue to build the industry of films, productions, documentaries, and all the stuff in this country. All the best, and thank you so much.